Today it's official. We are building a new farm on Judith Plains, Montana. Out with the old and in with the new, I guess we could say. We're time to sell this place and we'll build something proper. Not that this farm has been terrible, but let's be honest, guys. It's time for us to, well, upgrade. Because this farm is just lacking space and there's not a lot of places I can, well, expand this to right now. So it's up for sale. We'll see what we get out of this. Now, I've got about $1 million in the old bank account. Plus, we'll be able to sell this for a little bit of a profit, I'm assuming. I do need to get rid of this house, though. I mean, we're almost 10 years now, and I'm still living in this shack. It's done well, but it's time, I think, for an upgrade in my life. So, that's for sale. Let me show you what my plan is going forward. I do have a bit of a plan. Now, we're heading out over towards the BGA right now. If you can see it just off on the horizon there. And that's currently where we're working. If you've been following us, we've got a job at the BGA making roughly $100,000 a year. But where I want to build this farm, I mean, this here is one of my fields. I do own 30 acres over here, plus another 15 acres just on the other side of this bridge. I've always really liked this valley down here, guys. This valley, you got a couple bridges that go across. Really do like this valley. So we ended up buying that land. Of course, we harvested it last fall, and this is where I want to build the new farm. That's right. We have 15 acres right in the heart of the county here, and it's between both towns, and I think this will be the perfect spot for a brand new farm. So let's head over. I'm gonna go to do some work. Hopefully by the time we get out here, some of the snow will have disappeared, and we can kind of get into this and start building this farm. I'm not quite sure exactly what we're going to do yet. Maybe it'll be a ranch, actually. Maybe we'll build a ranch out here instead, but I got work to do first. The biogas plant is calling. Got 8 hours to do. Let's get our shift in, and we'll see you guys in probably about a month. All right, April is here, and the snow, unfortunately, has not completely left yet. Man, it's just not going away. But I think I've slept the last night in that old cabin. It's time for us to get to building today. I want to see what kind of a ranch we can build here now. I think right here where we're going in is going to be the best spot for me to kind of make one of the entrances in here. So I'm going to just kind of start with that. Now, we've got a kind of a triangle-shaped lot, as you can see. The ravine's on the far side, and then we're kind of tapered off on both ends. Now, I want to make the roadway through here kind of first and kind of get an idea of how this farm is going to be laid out. I'm planning on putting everything down up against the ravine, basically. So, starting off, I'm going to find, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. A house? It's a house with a barn, kind of. That's going to be my plan. Camera's messed up. There we go. Got to select our color. Let me get back over and across here. But, there we go. We've got our farmhouse with a shop. That, I've been dying to build this for a while now. So, farmhouse with a shop. Now, of course, I want to have the view where the house side is over the ravine. So that's got to be right up against the edge here. Now, I do have a lot of terrain deformation here that is going to cause me some grief, I think. The ravine drops off a little slower than I would like. I want to kind of keep this up on top. So, I think what we'll have to do instead is flatten everything out. Yeah, we'll flatten all this up. Now, if we get all the way to the ridge, that'll make up, I don't know if we can make some kind of a cliff on the far side. That might be the most beneficial way of doing this. So try and get this all leveled up. I don't want to inflict any damage on that car dealership on the far side there. So I want to be kind of careful with that. But I want to get this ridge kind of all built up. And this is where our house will be positioned. And I think most of the farm actually is going to be down on this side, or the ranch, I should say. Now, I'm saying ranch. I don't know how much of a ranch we'll actually get out of this right yet. My plan going forward will be, there's a lot of cattle out here, but not a lot of ranches out on Judith Plains. So I do want to get maybe some horse run, some equestrian going right out of the chute here. And what I'm thinking of, since this plot of land is kind of like a triangle, there's not really great spots to put cattle, I find, if we want to have, I don't know, there's not a lot of spots in here. So we might have to put our cattle area someplace else. We'll see going forward, but that's just what I'm thinking in my head. I think we'll stay away from cattle right yet and just get the horses going right off the bat here. Get this nice and close up against the car dealership. try to get that so it's as smooth and flat as possible. And yeah, this is going to be a big flat open piece of land right now. And that should be all right. I think we'll have lots of space here for all the other stuff. Now, the big problem, of course, I'm running into in the other farm was storage space, all my implements. As some of you have mentioned, I've got all of my tools just strewn about outside on the farm because I don't have storage space. So that's something that I'm going to make sure I have plenty of on this particular farm, this particular ranch. We're going to have a lot of storage space on this. We'll make sure we have garages, plentiful garages space for all of our equipment we'll be picking up as time goes on. So that looks like a pretty good sized ridge up there. Now, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work with that particular house I've got planned. We'll see. We may have to modify the design a little bit there. But I think this is overall will work just fine. We'll just kind of flatten it all up. Unfortunately, we're a little high on the south side. South side would be east side, I guess. Over by the bridge there. That looks a little bit high. So we're going to have to smooth that out a bit as well. But I think we'll just kind of get a nice big flat spot here so I have an idea of what I'm dealing with. And I find it's tough to tell until you start building your homes and your sheds, figuring out how much space you actually need. Yeah, it's gonna be hit and miss here as we kind of get building away. I think it's gonna take us a little bit of time. So the house itself, like I said, we've got the house ready to go. I built a little bit more of a plateau so it sticks out a little bit more towards the creek. And now you can see we've got a little more space here for the house itself. I'm gonna push this kind of so it's a little bit down further. So the house part of it's kind of isolated a little bit. There we go. That looks all right. That's a good start. Now, the rest of this, oh boy, I got to figure out exactly how we're going to have entry for roadways, and we got to figure out exactly how we're going to access this, because it's not going to be a straightforward little roadway system that comes in. I need to try to match it with the other roads that are kind of coming into this area. So flattening out some spaces, like we got the truck park right there. You can see the roadway goes over towards the the farmyard up there. We got a couple businesses over there. I want to kind of match that in so you have a proper like stop area there. And then same on this side. I don't have a roadway on the opposite side, but I just want to kind of get a lay of the land on how these roads are going to interact on each side of my ranch, basically coming in, coming out of the farm itself, out of my yard. Gonna figure out exactly where that's going to be. So I think that'll be okay. We're gonna have to smooth all this out, of course. Plus, I got a plan for all these guys. This is just to give me a rough idea. We kind of flatten the land out. I'm going to smooth it out now. And yeah, we'll add some more detail to this. That is one of the hardest things. I always have a problem with trying to get it so it's just not the same texture over and over and over and over again. So we're going to see if we can really work on that on this farm and get the textures to look more authentic. Now, the other thing is, since this is a kind of a new farm, it will look rather new. Most of the times I tend to build more of I like to build a farm that looks like it's lived in a little bit more. This one here, I mean, this is a brand new farm, so we're going to make this look pretty shiny, I think. With some of the houses and the sheds we're going to buy, we'll see if there's anything that's going to be dated or not, but some of the stuff, it's going to look pretty brand new, and I think we'll even go a little bit light on the decor. Got to smooth this edge all out. Like I said, this has got to come down nicely, down towards the road here. We'll have to smooth all this out before we get to texturizing stuff. And then the back side of the farm, along the creek, we'll worry about that afterwards here. Just kind of smooth everything out. And well, that's one way to get rid of the snow, I guess, right there. We should have done that more, I guess. We could have smoothed all the snow right off our farm. That looks better. Okay. All right, so our main farmyard's built. We got the house built, of course. We have our rough plan for how the roadway system's going to go. Now, this is where things are going to start to get a little bit more interesting, I think. That's good. I need a shop, of course. Now, how much space do I have for this massive shop? By the way, both of these, Mod Hub, there you can find them both down there. Amazing shop buildings. With the house, of course, has the shop as well. Let's see if I can put that in right. Yeah, it'll fit right there against the car dealership. And then if I can balance it out so it's directly in line with my house shop, like the 90-degree portion kind of lines up perfectly with the edge of the house, I think that'll look best. Yeah, we'll put it like right in, pretty close to there. That looks pretty close. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then we're all going to have a yard out in front. I want to have a lot of parking space for storing, not storing equipment, but prepping equipment before we do any kind of work. So we'll have that out in front of the house. And of course, on top of that, guys, we do need a silo system. So now, I've got the large plot of land over on this side here. Got to figure out exactly how the silo system is going to work. Of course, I need to think about how equipment's going to be coming into the farm and going out of the farm when we drop stuff off. So I want to have this accessible, kind of away from the house, but also part of the whole farm plot as well. So if we put it on this outside, you can see the road's going to be coming in and going out right in this area. I think that's a good spot for it. So next up, now we got to deal with the cliff that goes down into the ravine here. And I think we're going to go a little bit crazy with rocks is my plan. So just a ton of rocks down here. And I know you can always, of course, use the painted cliffside. And we'll do a little bit more of that for sure going forward. But I really like to use the rocks to give it definition. So we're going to put a schwack load of these things all the way around. Next up, I do need to pull up the terrain a little bit to kind of cover the edge of the rocks. That's kind of the best way I find to do this, so it's not, you have a big rock there you walk out on. It kind of covers up a little bit of it. And then, of course, we need to paint it all. Yeah, we'll put that cliff kind of texture on a lot of this stuff. There's some things we'll be able to cover with vegetation, but a lot of it we need to kind of mask it up with the painting, of course. There we go, and that looks decent. I think we're looking okay. We got some stuff down on the far side here I still need to take care of. But we're getting there. Just need to figure out where the grass is going to be, and then we'll be good. And the last little bit, like I said, I've got some grass coming down to some of this stuff. Other is kind of rocky cliff. I like how these one rocks are kind of poking through at the top here. I really do like how that turned out. You can still kind of see they're just embedded in the ground. I like that. You don't have to dig those ones out, though. That would be a bad day. Those are some big stones. On the far side, I'm starting to build these, certainly build these roads out. And now that we have kind of an idea how the road system is going to come into the farm, I need to build the roads between the two entrances. And that'll be our starting points at least, because we're going to have quite a few of these we'll have to slap down in here. On the bright side, everything's nice and flat, so that shouldn't cause me any issues, but these do tend to work fairly well, even if it's a minor elevation change. So I can work with that, but we're going to circle this into the farm. And we also need this roadway. You can see I've made this road go into the silo system here as well. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work on the far side still, but that's what it looks like there. Yeah, we'll just make kind of like a pit lane almost. I think I'm going to make this circle around the back side of the silo. Yeah, there we go. Silo's been all taken care of. We've got all these different roads. I'm going to need to do some work to make them look a little bit better, as you see I'm doing right now, but that's kind of the layout so far. And on top of all this, we need some grass, of course. Where these turning kind of lanes are, these forks in the road, yeah, we definitely need grass in here. So painting grass, growing grass, and obviously in between all these other spots, there's a ton of spots in between the roads. I want grasslands kind of put in place as well. So all the grass has been put in. All we got to start doing now is starting to build everything else out. I've got, like I said, the horse ranch is what I want to put on this area right here. So we'll put our horse stables right on the corner here, I think. And my plan is, guys, we'll build the pasture kind of all the way up into the road. So fence lines all the way up and around, and that's going to be for our horses, that whole plot of land. So that should be quite a bit for them, I think. I think that's, oh, that was weird. Wasn't expecting canola to be placed there. I'll have to fix that up, but that's not a big deal. Weird. That was kind of strange. Wasn't expecting that at all. All right, well, that canola's gone. Now we just need to smooth it all back out again. Get that tool back to work and paint in kind of some pathing systems or paths where the horses may have gone through this field already. Yeah, I wish they would automatically do that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Cool. All right, so the horse pasture's done. Now we can start getting into some more of the finite details. I've got fences I want to put up to kind of separate our yard from the rest of the farm. So everything kind of on the cliff side, that's kind of the farm yard, our personal yard, right? And then I also, of course, was thinking I need hay. I'm going to need a hay bale area. So we put that in, and then everything's looking kind of, I don't know, there's some very similarities in the ground texture. So I'm trying to figure out where we can texturize some of this stuff to break it up a little bit. You can see we've done some staining and added some gravel areas over in front of the horses, but I need to do more, well, up towards the farm and on the back side here still, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some texturizing, I think, over on this side of the farm for sure. But there's something else still that I'm thinking about first. Yeah, we need a fill station, guys. I need lime, I need seeds and fertilizer. So we got the seed silo. We'll get a pellet fertilizer and then a lime station as well, or a lime cell spot as well. We'll have to fill all these up, obviously, but I kind of want to have all these right on my farm. As much as I like going to the Tractor Supply for that stuff, I'd rather have it able to be stocked here at least, so we can go buy some and bring it here. But should work out okay over on the back side of the silo here. We'll just need to build a roadway, of course. Look at that, looks good. And then if we can find the special road placements once again, because they do look pretty good, we'll just slap these down on here as well. Now, thinking there's still one more thing I kind of want to do with these. Yeah. I got an idea, guys. We'll put down some concrete pads right underneath, just to make it look like it's like a regular parking spot and like a spot where, so we don't want it to get all rutted out. So we got these big, large concrete pads here that should protect the roadways a little bit when we're, well, over here filling up. It looks kind of interesting. I don't know. I kind of like the look of these. If I place enough of them kind of back and forth, I think it'll look fairly realistic in that sense. That looks okay. We'll maybe add a couple more here, but yeah, it's all right. Just go on, spin around. There we go. All right. Now, I don't have a house for my farmhands yet. I need a house for the farmhands, of course. If we got horses, we're going to have farmhands, so we need another house. I think this one. Yeah, this one I'll do. That looks all right. And of course, we need like a little bit of a driveway up here, parking area for vehicles. So just put a pad here and circle it back in and around. It'll connect into our main drive. Yeah, like that. That's all right. Cool. All right. So that's Gertie's house, I guess. Once again, I'm thinking we're going to have to add some more detail, some staining to various concrete down here, gravel, I should say. A lot of this is gravel. Concrete's over by the house there. We got the gravel pads, or the concrete pads by the house. But a lot of this needs to have like a staining to it, just to mix it up a little bit, make it look more natural. And then on top of that, I have no trees yet. So we're going to put on a bunch of trees everywhere and make it get a little more verticality, I guess. Like bring up the farm a little bit more. And since we're doing some decorations, it's time for more fences. Now, I don't want to go crazy with the fences, but I do want to isolate some areas, like, well, the farmhouse over there from the rest of the silo stuff. We kind of separate those two. And of course, the farm yard, I wanted that kind of blocked off as well, so we can kind of keep our yards separate. But I'm not going to go too crazy with that. But there's one thing I did find that I want to use. And these little bullards, these protection barriers, I wanted to put those up in some spots around our sheds and our houses here. So just in case, one of our farmhands like Gertie decides to try and park it, they're not running right into my house. That would be fantastic. So these look pretty good. Of course, we put some more around the fuel right there as well. But that looks pretty good. Okay. I guess I'm actually pretty happy. It looks decent. I got a few more decoration things to put in. But, what else do we need? I think we've got all the buildings I need. We got lots of storage, it looks like. You know what? Just some more decorating, I guess. So, I'm going to slap down a few more decorating bits. A couple things I've been thinking about. And I think it might almost be time for a tour. We might have to go take a look. I think we might have to go take a look at this place, guys. This is coming together pretty quick. I'm just putting some more final decorating bits around the house. And, of course, around our various barns and farm area. See if I can put these into a nice area. Like I said, typically I wouldn't go crazy with making it look this good as far as new goes, but we're going to put some nice flowers up here. And I'm trying to figure out what else we can do with that. We've also got some parking on the far side over towards our farmhand house. I can put down some of these parking stall type barricades. And then I did find this as well. These are kind of cool. These little wagon wheels. I mean, this is my main parking area, so I want it to look real good over here. Yeah, guys, I think it's coming together. Okay. So we'll keep on decorating for a little bit here. Put some lights up, and then I think... Oh, you know what? We need some more lights over here, too. We need some lights, of course, in our filling station and our silo. So put these down. I got a couple more lights I'm going to put up. I was just thinking about. And I think it's time we did a quick tour of this farm, so you guys could see the final-ish product. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, I've spent almost $1 million building this, so let's go take a look. So we might as well bring one piece of equipment down since we're back at our old farm. Bring down the classic, the Farmall, the original tractor for our starting from scratch farm. We might as well bring it down. It can be the first piece of equipment to come to the new farm. The new farm Oh man, I don't even know what we're going to call this ranch yet, but we got to come up with a name for that. But pretty happy with it so far. Now, I did realize this road system was going to be a great shortcut for people, so I had to put a gate in. We had to put a gate on the road because the main entrance on both sides would become a huge shortcut for people if they wanted to. Not huge, it would be a shortcut for people if they wanted to bypass a bunch. Entryway into the farm looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. And of course then our main parking is going to be right in front. We have a large area here for storing a ton of different equipment, or getting prepped with a bunch of equipment. Things are good. So, where should we start? I don't know if I want to start at the house, start at the barns. I don't know, where should we start looking first, guys? There's so many options here. I think we'll start on the left side. So right over on the far side left, of course, we got the big bale barn. We will store some bales for our horses. That's going to be obviously the main food source for the horses. And of course, it's a smaller horse barn of sorts. Nothing too crazy there. And then of course behind the side of here, you can see we've got a fairly large plot of land for it. A couple trees I put out there. I did put another shed back here as well over by the dealership just for like implement or older stuff storage. I didn't want to run out again this time, guys. Let's go inside the big shop though. This is my massive shop. This one is absolutely huge. Lights on? Nice. Look at that. Look at the size of this place. There's so much room for activities in here. Do have there's 2 doors off on the far side that you can see us. There's a big door behind us as well. We do have some pallet storage up on the top, and then a workshop. You know what? Actually, we could kind of change this as well, which is kind of funny. You know what? It doesn't feel right on this farm. We'll leave it that way. Yeah, that's probably for the best. But yeah, we got the mechanics and shop in here, and then another huge storage bay on the far side here. So I've got tons of room for equipment, which is going to be so nice compared to what we've been waiting for in the last farm, guys. So massive bay doors here that, for the most part, we could close or leave open, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how we run this, but these are massive bay doors, that's for sure. Cool. This is a great barn. Really liking this one for sure. And so that's the main barn. We're gonna do a lot of storage in there. We're gonna bypass our house for a second. We'll walk back over and let's go take a look at the silo system we got on the far side here. Of course, it's the AGI. It does have the folding top for the drop pan here as well, which is kind of nice to have when we're not in harvest mode. At least we can do that. And then behind, like I said, we have fertilizer, lime, and the seed stations right here. I have no liquid fertilizer on this farm right now. Don't have a need for it as of yet, but maybe that's something. Maybe even some herbicide too. These have turned out really well, actually. I'm really happy with these concrete pads. Off the backside, we got Gertie's house. That's right, our farmhand house. Let's go take a look inside. Let's go look. Open. Where's the keys? There we go. Yeah, it's I guess she hasn't fully moved in yet. It's looking rough in here. Holy, I feel like this house is terrible. There is not much in this place. Concrete floors and oh boy, plastic furniture. Great. All right, well, she's got a nice view, I guess, kind of just off to the road here. Could be worse, I guess. Not much, but it could be worse. So there's the farmhand house. Let's head back over. Well, let's head over towards our house. Now, this is really pretty happy. I'm really happy with this. Of course, we got our fuel station off on the far side here, I should say, as well. We do have fuel right on our farm here, but we have a station just outside as well. Let's go into our main garage, our main shop. Look at the floors in here. Yeah, like epoxy floors. Oh, those look so good. Loving the epoxy floors in here. You have some racks for storage of pallets or whatever we may decide to put up in there. Obviously, there's a ton of different places we could put things even in this. And this shop is probably bigger than all the storage we had at the last farm. Of course, I do have my own little garage here. We got all our snap-on tools back in the corner here. And this leads us... Oh, lights off. Lights on. Lights off. Sure. Lights on. There we go. That makes more sense. There is my office right when we walk in. Of course, you can see we've got some architectural diagrams of the house up on the computer right now. Leads us right into the kitchen. And got the fireplace already up and running. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. There is a bathroom right behind there, sliding door. But if you go around the far side, the bathroom does have multiple entrances into it. Got our closet on the back over here. And yeah, there you go. That is our house. It's not huge. It isn't huge, but I think this is more than I'll ever need. Outside the back, you can see our yard space actually is quite nice off here, backing right onto the ridge. Does make it for a nice little space. There we go. So you've seen everything to do with our brand new ranch, our new farm. I'm pretty happy with the layout of this, guys. We got the road system that comes in. It's a little bit kind of convoluted, kind of a little bit weird, but I think it works out all right. We'll see when we start actually getting to work on here how everything works out, but so much more storage space, and that's really what I was going for. Yeah, I mean, just the amount of storage for all our equipment is going to make a big difference for me there. Of course, now we have some livestock, or some equestrian stuff we can do as well. So that'll be the start of at least of that side of things. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But there's actually one thing I totally forgot about. You know what? Since I'm sitting there talking about equestrian and animals, we kind of need that, don't we? Where is he? Is he in here? There he is. Yeah, that's better. That's what I needed. That's way better. We always need a farm dog here, guys. Anyways, that's going to do it for us today. I really hope you enjoyed this farm build. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Is there something I should have done differently? Things you don't think are going to work out for me, or things you didn't think of before, maybe. Let me know down in the comments down below, because I'm actually pretty excited to play this farm build. This is one of the nicer ones I think I've made as far as a new build goes, at least. So anyways, drop a comment down below on that. Of course, I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one where we put this farm to the test. I'm excited to see what we do with this one, guys. So stay tuned. We'll be back next time. This is Klutch from Judith Plains. Over and out.